I was at home doing housework and I drew the blinds on the front to let daylight in, and two ladies were going by with a baby in a pushchair and they were laughing. And then next minute I thought, that's not laughing anymore, that don't sound quite right. So I looked out of the window and all I could see was a pushchair. So I opened the front door and the pushchair ran over the curb onto the road. So I ran up and grabbed the pushchair and put it on. The lady who was with the pushchair was laid on the floor. I don't know what happened to the other lady. So I went up and said, "Are you okay?" I didn't know what had gone off, and she's saying this man's name, who I don't wish, and I kept thinking, well, as I looked up, a police car's coming by. So I waved him down. He pulled in eventually, gets out of the car. While he's coming in, I said to the lady, "I need to look, what's wrong with you?" So I lifted up a top after saying, "Excuse me," and I could see blood. And I said, "Oh, bloomin' heck," and she'd been stabbed with a vegetable knife. Right, and I figured that because the V stab wounds, you know. Anyway, the policeman gets out of the car and I said to the policeman, "This lady's been stabbed." He said, "Have you done it?" I went, "I don't think so." Right. The lady next door to me came out with a quilt because it started to rain and covered this lady over, and I stood there holding a brolly over her. The policeman decides to ring for an ambulance. The ambulance came and he just said, "What went off?" And I said, "I'll let you know in a minute." The lady went off in the ambulance. This policeman came into my house. I made a statement. The next day, I'd got CID knocking at my front door, and about 6 officers came in and wanted to know what I virtually just said to you. So they said, "Well, did you know them?" I said, "I've no idea. I've never met them before. I am clueless." And they said, "Oh, right." Said, "Well, the lady was stabbed." I said, "Yes, I worked that out, you know." And they said, "Well, do you know anybody? Did she say anything?" I said, "She gave me the name of the gentleman, if you can call him that stabbed her." "And what's that?" So I told them. And they went, "Right." And I thought that was it, the end. 2 weeks later, I get a letter come through my door saying, "You might be at the bus shelter, you may be at your neighbour's gate, you may be at your gate, but I am coming for you and I'm going to get you." So I looked at it, and my brother was with me at the time, and he said, "I think we'd better go to the police station with this." So down to the police station we went, and they looked at the letter, and this policeman went, "Have you got any enemies?" And when I'd stopped laughing, I just said, "Well, according to the letter, I would say so." They weren't particularly bothered until they turned over on the letter, and on the back, I was accused of having a lesbian affair with 2 of the inspectors that turned out to be ladies, and their names were true. And then the police were more than interested. They then wanted to fit a Home Office panic button in my house, to which I said, "No, I don't need that." And they just said, "Well," and I said, "Have you got a photo of him or anything?" They said, "No, we're not allowed to give photographs. But all I can tell you is at this age, he's balding at the front, you know, and so just be careful if somebody comes to your door like that." "Okay, fine." So off they went, and then a couple of days later, there's a knock on the door. And I opened the door, and the description of this gentleman was more or less what the police had given me. And I said something to the effect of, "Oh, you found me then?" And then my son and daughter jumped on this man, knocked him onto the garden. He's rolling around saying, "I'm only better way, man. I'm only here to sell better way stuff." And they went, "Oh," and I said, "Let him get up." And they let him get up and he says, "I take it you don't want to buy anything." I said, "No, thank you." That was it.
And did you ever see her again?
No.
No?
No, they moved her, I don't know where, but they moved her from where she lived but apparently he jumped out of the bus stop and stabbed her and she was walking backwards apparently away from him.
Yeah.
And he gave her 2 or 3 stabs and off he went.
So did he know her, do you know? Or?
He was the father of the child.
See.
Yeah, and she'd left him. I don't know why, I didn't know all ins and outs of that, but apparently he was the dad.
So was there a lot of anxiety? I mean, your children were obviously aware because they attacked the...
The kids saw it as fun, you know what I mean? They didn't take it serious because, I mean, I think the lad were about 15 foot, something like that. I mean, he laughs still now. But no, it didn't affect them at all. They were just more bothered making sure that I was okay and said, "Did we do a good job, Mum?" I said, "You did a super job. It's just a shame that it wasn't the right person." And but the lady was okay.
She was okay.
Yeah.
She made a full recovery.
Yeah, full recovery.
Did it make the papers or anything?
No, I think it was kept quiet because these 2 police officers were mentioned on the letter.
Oh, I see.
So it never got any further than that. No. And while this was going on, my next door neighbour's directing traffic, right? And he's in the middle of the road doing this because they're all stopping to look what's going on. At the end, 2 policemen came along and said, "You did a good job of directing traffic." He got £50 for doing it. I got no. They're giving £50. Several of my girlfriends went out, as we always did, New Year's Day drinking. And we went out to Clipstone Social Club, and needless to say, we were truly inebriated and decided to meet up that evening at 7 o'clock at the bar in Clipstone Social Club. So off Emma goes, straight upstairs, quick shower. I don't know how I managed it, but quick shower. Opens the wardrobe door and looked, and everything looked same. And I thought, oh, red. Yeah, it's Christmas, New Year, we'll have this red dress on. So on the dress goes, on with the shoes, and we're through the door. The story with the red dress, my sister bought it me when she came over from America. And because it was a designer one, I decided I was going to show off and wear it. And it had elasticated waist, long sleeves, a round neck with a small zip at the back, and pleats all the way around the skirt part of the dress, and thick belt loops at the side. Well, apparently I turned up in this dress, and all my friends, we were known to say what we thought. And one of them said, "What the bloody hell have you got on?" And I went, "My red frock, why?" "No, don't worry about it." So, okay, so we stood at bar and everybody come in, we're looking. And it turned out that due to that being a 14 and I was a size 20, the pleats vanished at the bottom, and it was a dress that went all the way round straight, though you could see where it should be pleated. The 2-inch belt was missing, so I'd got belt loops. The zip at the back, I couldn't pick my arm up to fasten it because the sleeves were too tight. And, well, generally, every time I put my arms up to pick my pint pot up or anything else, the waistband, which was elasticated, shot up over my boobs. And then it was a mini dress instead of a regular sized dress. So each time I kept pulling the dress back down so that I would be decent again. But the minute I moved, it shot back up out of the boot again. And every time I moved, they were all laughing. And then one of them said, "Have you seen your feet?" And I had a navy blue shoe on one foot with a bow on it, and on the other one I had a navy blue shoe and a buckle on it. And that was the story of the red dress. I never got to live it down.
So, is there any photographic evidence?
No, sorry.
But
Please.
they've never let you forget it?
No, it's 40 years, and every time New Year comes up, the same crowd bring up the red dress.
And I take it wearing odd shoes wasn't intentional?
No, it wasn't. One clacked when I walk, and the other one was quiet. One-legged monster.